Hey guys, happy Friday. So, I've been preaching consistency, and I haven't created a long form video in I think like 7 days. Granted, a little personal update, family update on Monday. My wife, she delivered our third baby boy, Thomas Sethi, at 4:15 in the morning. So, that took me out of the house for 2-3 days. We came back on Wednesday, and just getting back into the swing of things, with 3 kids, not two, and being outnumbered. At least it was 2 parents, 2 kids. Now it's 2 parents, 3 kids. So again, that's something that I'm learning how to do, and again, kind of goes into nutrition, going into how I handle all the habits that I develop over 18 months, having 10,000 steps a day, making sure I'm prepping my meals, making sure that, I'm eating eating my macros. So I'm still doing 2,000 calories a day, doing about 220, 230 grams of protein, about 120, 130 carbs, and 40 to 50 grams of fat. So it's on a specific thing. I track it in MyFitnessPal, and I'm ensuring that I hit essentially mainly the 2 things that I'm focused on is hitting that protein goal and hitting under that calorie goal, plus minus 50, 100 calories. Some days a little bit less, some days a little bit more, but ensuring that I'm maintaining that. And again, my goal is to do it 90-95%. Never trying to be super perfect and rigid. Whenever I've done that in the past, maintained it I could do it for a month, 3 months, but then again, as I told you, it falls off, and then all the habits, the progress that I developed, I lose that, and then I go backwards. In the short that I posted before going to the gym in the morning today, I was watching on Instagram. I follow this gentleman, Tony, I forget his, the handle, but he had started 75 hard, and he's like, I'm committed, and he was doing it for like 30, 40, 50 days. And, I saw a video yesterday that he had fallen off, had gained 30 pounds, gained the weight and more. And, he's starting to focus on different types of content. And it just boggles me because, again, I made those same mistakes. I did insanity. I remember way back when, out of college, I did that for like 3-4 weeks, and I got back in shape, then I stopped. And then it's either all or nothing. And that's how it shouldn't be in your life. Take 2% and maintain that 2%. That can grow to 3% and 5%. And then eventually it just becomes a part of your life, and you fit it in no matter the juggling that occurs, Like I'm going from having, a 6 and a 3-year-old to a 6 and a 3 and now a 4-day-old, and my wife is doing the bulk of the work. She's doing 99% of the work. Happy to help out in whatever way I can, but have to wake up with her, and I try my best. But again, it's an adjustment, and I got to maintain everything that I've been doing for the past 18 months, because again, it's a part of my lifestyle, but it wasn't when I first started. So that's my big advice to you. So if you're watching these videos, slow and steady wins the race. I can't preach it enough. If you go fast, you'll get some results, but again, speaking to the masses here, some people may do 75 hard, lose 50 pounds, and then be able to maintain it, and fantastic for them. That may work for them. But I promise you, that's the 10-20% of people. And for the majority, the 80% that I'm speaking to, these are the habits that I've learned. And again, I've learned it by doing it. So I know from firsthand experience, because I've done the fad diets, I've done the crash diets. I have a lot of opinions on nutrition. My own experiences is what I can speak from, and from people that I've spoken to directly. And then I'll promise I'll be sharing that with you as we do more of these videos. But the previous long form video I did on nutrition, I broke down kind of what carbs, fats, and proteins were. Carbs, 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories, 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So you can see that fat is more calorie dense than carbs and protein. So I'll explain to you like what I've been eating. But today I want to talk about protein sources, and then we're going to do some more videos on carbs where I'll focus on that, carb sources and fat sources. So, again, all my content is geared to like you starting. Depending, no matter where you are in your journey, you gotta kind of know the foundation. So this is the foundation of protein. All you really need is, let's go through the protein sources. And you probably hear my son screaming in the background, but we'll just get through it. So, protein. You want to choose like good, and again, maybe I spelled it wrong, but protein. Number one is lean chicken. Beef, fish, good types of fish. Again, I like salmon. You can use tilapia. One great source that I use is eggs, egg whites, all types of eggs. So boiled eggs, egg whites, but essentially, and one more, turkey. Turkey, ground turkey, especially ground. You can also do like different variations, but again, I get all my food now from Costco and Aldi's, so the things that are more perishable I get from Aldi's. It's close by, and more of the bulk stuff like the chicken and the beef, the eggs, the egg whites I get from Costco. So just gonna make a Costco run later today. But chicken, I get chicken breast. You can get chicken thighs. People say it tastes better, has a little bit more fat content, but again, all great sources. You got to start somewhere. So if you're eating, let's say you check your week and you eat fast food 5 times a week. I don't want you to go from 5 to 0. I want you to go 5 to 3. Do that for a week. Go 3 to 2. 2 to 1, 1 to 0. So then over the course of the month, you phased it out so you don't feel like you're missing on something. That's the mistake that people will do. Like, you just got to start. And I am all for starting, but slow and steady. Because again, this whole transformation, it can't just be I transform and then it's done, but it's a lifestyle. So I don't even like calling it a diet. It's transforming your lifestyle and changing the way slowly what you eat long term. Because the mantra is this: if whatever your diet, let's say you're doing, can you ask yourself, or if you say to yourself, can I eat what I'm eating for the rest of my life? If the answer is no, you're doing it wrong, because you'll crack, you'll break, and you'll go back to old habits. And that's not what we want. The way I'm eating, I can confidently say that I could eat it forever. So I have the knowledge. Like, I had, one of my favorite meals this morning, which was like an egg and cheese sandwich. Instead of using a bagel, which I love bagels, right? And I do eat bagels. I use sourdough, a little bit less calories, sourdough bread. I used good, like, light cheese. You can also get fat-free cheese from Publix or Walmart, fat-free. 28 grams, 9 grams of protein, 2 carbs, fantastic source. So that's your cheese. Eggs, you could do full egg whites. You could do 2 eggs depending on your macros. And I'll talk to you about that. So I did 2 eggs this morning because I'm out of egg whites. I finished it yesterday, so I gotta get more. And I had a protein shake after the gym. So, I had like 70, 80 grams of protein, 30, 40 carbs, 10, 15 grams of fat. It's a good breakfast for me. Some days I have more protein. Some days I'm craving some more carbs, so I, front load my carbs. Then I know that the rest of the meals I have to be more, more protein heavy, less carb heavy. So it just depends on what I'm feeling, but, I don't like giving out strict, you got to eat this every single morning, because some mornings I'm not craving, eggs, and I go for something else. I'm wanting, let's say, smoked salmon with cream cheese and a bagel. So I'm going for what I feel, but within my macros. So the macros is like the box, and I'm fitting what I want. Let's say I want a cookie. I'll eat the cookie. I'll just track it, so I know what I'm in. It just depends. But the key is finding where your calories are. So if it's like the example I gave, if it's 2,000 calories, you're having, let's say, 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fat. That means 800 calories, 200 grams has to be your protein. Then you just backfill it. So, but today we're talking about, like, what do you want to fill? What type of protein sources do you want to fill that 200 grams, right? And again, just an example, your maintenance, or depending on what you choose, if you want to have 50 grams percent of your calories as protein, or 30%, you get that number. But again, these are the sources that I use. Just, from somebody that's doing it every day. This is what I buy from Costco. This is what I meal prep. So lean chicken, I recommend 96.4 beef, or if you can't find that, 93.7. Again, just leaner sources. So again, I haven't really tasted the difference. I've used 90.10, 85.15, 93.7, 96.4. It's just a leaner cut. So I get more bang for my buck. I get, more protein, less calories. And the taste to me is the same. I love Mexican food, so I eat a lot of tacos, a lot of quesadillas. I make a lot of chili. So I take the 96.4 beef, 2-4 pounds, half a packet of taco seasoning, maybe sometimes the full packet, some tomatoes. I mix it in there in the crock pot. 8 hours later, boom. I have like chili. I put that on burritos. I mix some Velveeta queso, like you get it in a glass jar, and it's phenomenal. Put a little bit of sour cream, light sour cream in there. I loved Taco Bell growing up. Funny about me, I was raised vegetarian. I'll tell you about that story, how I started eating, meat for protein. And again, I'll get into this in other videos, but I was a vegetarian for 22, 23 years. So I know it's now in vogue to be vegetarian and vegan and all this stuff, but I just find it so much more, I feel lighter, cleaner, more energetic when I eat more lean sources of protein than eating a carb-heavy vegetarian or vegan diet. Now, if you are the individual that is vegan or vegetarian and is having lean sources or the leanest sources of vegetarian and vegan protein like seitan, tofu, and things like that, you can feel that, but most folks aren't. They're having, I see these creators on Instagram, they're putting like a big piece of cauliflower, very heavy hummus-based sauce, and hummus is not a protein source, it's a carb source. People mistakenly say high protein, but then you look at the content and 25% of that content, that food, is protein. That's not high protein. To me, the main macronutrient has to be protein for you to say high protein. And in chicken, the main macronutrient is protein. Beef, it's protein and fat. If you get 70-30 beef, ground beef, that's the highest macronutrient is fat, then beef. So that to me is a fat source, not a protein source. And people will, what are you talking about? But 96.4 beef, that's a protein source. Salmon, just check the ratio, look at the package and see if it's 200 calories, how much of those calories are protein, how much of it is fat. And know that 1 gram of protein is 4 calories and 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So if it has 10 grams of protein and 10 grams of fat, that means 40 of the calories are protein and 90 of the calories are fat. So that means it's 2 times more fat than protein, even though it's 10 grams and 10 grams, because fat is more calorie dense. So that's something that in reading the labels, you'll know. So if it was 20 grams of protein, or let's say 22 grams of protein and 10 grams of fat, now you're at like about a 50-50. It's about 50% protein, 50% fat. But you're like, Sahil, it's 22 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat. Just do simple math. Math doesn't lie. 22 times 4 is 88 calories protein. 10 times 9, 90 calories. So you're pretty much even. So the more you do it, the more you'll understand how to look at labels, how to track it. And I had to learn it. I didn't know how to cook it. So this has been a 10, 12 year process of me learning how to cook meat and how to be sanitary and how to make it taste good and again, this evolution. So a little bit about me, how I came about. But yeah, so growing up, I used to eat lots of eggs, egg whites. Used to go to, I remember going to Burger King before karate on Saturdays with my dad. Get the egg and cheese croissant. Loved it, love it. Haven't had it in 10 years. And again, probably not going to. But I love eggs. I love egg whites from Costco. Get the carton or get the single cartons from Aldi's. If you're a single or you're one person, you don't need to buy in bulk. They're fantastic. I love preparing eggs in all different types of ways. Trust me, I've prepared it poached, scrambled, omelets, hash, thin sliced, fluffy. I love finding different ways to prepare eggs. There's infinite amount of ways. I eat eggs or egg whites, something of that every single day. Sometimes I eat it for breakfast and dinner. It's so versatile, so good for you. I can't recommend it more. If eggs are not a part of your staple, get on it. It's fantastic. And then ground turkey. Again, another amazing source. So if you like, again, want to lower your calories and increase your protein, half chicken, half beef, half turkey chili. Make patties. I just bought 2 pounds of turkey from Publix, 99.1 ground turkey, formed it into patties, add a little peppers, onions, some seasonings, and made patties. And then I grilled it. Get a thermometer so you check it so it's 160 internal temp, so it's it's cooked through. And so I put that on my sandwiches. I'm probably gonna get some English muffins, and I'll take an English muffin, slice of cheese, turkey patty, an egg, another turkey patty, boom. So you easily get like 60 grams of protein, 30 carbs, maybe 10, 20 grams of fat in a sandwich. Boom, like that's your super healthy, super awesome breakfast that'll keep you going for, 4 or 5 hours. And again, so this is a great starting point. If you add more, you can always add it. My wife loves octopus and different types of fish. So if she was sticking to like a macro kind of lifestyle, the foods, add there. But this is kind of like my core 5. And yeah, just test it out, guys. And really just stick to that. I really think it'll help you increase it. And it's very easy to get 150 to 200 grams of protein once you start, buying it and testing out and making the same dishes that you love when you go to a restaurant, when you go to Olive Garden or you go to your local Mexican, Italian joint. Try to make the same foods at home. And you'll see that you could get the same flavor or 95% there, but a third of the calories and 5 times more protein. I made barbecue chicken pizzas yesterday and it was phenomenal. And I actually put that on Instagram. So I took like a flatbread, like the flatbread wheat from Aldi's. They get it's like a single pan. It's like 12 grams of carbs, 6 grams of protein. I put sugar-free barbecue Ray's sauce, so that's another 3 carbs. So that's the barbecue. I boiled chicken in the crock pot actually 2 days ago. So I have like boiled chicken that I can shred and I can make. So this week I was like, I want to have every meal be like something different. So I was craving pizzas yesterday. So I shaved shredded the boiled chicken and mixed in some onions, and I just sauteed a little bit in some Pam spray, avocado spray. And then I put that on there, and I took some low-fat shredded cheese and I put that on there, sprinkled it, air fried it, got the cheese melty, and then I put some Italian seasoning and some red chili flakes. And then I bought from Costco this avocado salsa, and per serving that's 2 grams of fat or 3 grams of fat and 2 carbs, so it's like 40 calories. And I put some sriracha, and I had that. I had 2 of those. So easily it was like 600-700 calories. I think like 80 grams of protein, 40-50 carbs, and like 10 grams of fat. Can't go wrong, guys. And I literally was loving the taste, and it satisfied that craving for chicken pizza, for barbecue chicken pizza. And if I would have got it from Domino's, promise you it would not be those macros. Like 80 grams of protein for 600 calories, not gonna happen at Domino's. So that's how you gotta look at it. And numbers don't lie. And if you track it, you'll know. So if you're like eyeballing it, I promise you, you may think you're eating 500 calories when you're in fact eating 1,000. And then when you check the scale, it's not gonna lie. And the biggest thing is don't lie to yourself. And that's why I track it. I learned it. Now I could probably eyeball it, but again, I'm trying to continue to be in a calorie deficit. I'm trying to continue to lean out. About me, I've never had abs. That's my first goal, is to get lean enough to have my abs showing, and then we'll go from there. So that's just a personal challenge for me that I'm looking to accomplish. And I set a date for myself last year, but now, again, the more I do it, the more this is who I am. So if I get there in 2 months, if I get there in 6 months, it's okay. I just know I'm getting stronger and I'm healthy and I'm able to provide for my family and give them the habits. Because remember, if you do this, your parents, and you do this, your children will follow suit. because they'll only know what you show them. So if you show them going to Burger King, McDonald's, and eating fast food and doing all the let's just be honest, bad habits, they're gonna copy it. You know, it's not a what do we say? It's a do as I do, not do as I say, right? Like if you tell them don't eat fast food and then you go and eat it, it's not the best example. You're not leading by example. So everything that I am eating, I want my children to eat. So they learn. They know what is healthy, what is not. And they can splurge. Yes, I'm not super rigid like that, but they need to know, again, following the 80-20 rule, what is best for them, what they should eat as a staple, and then, they're kids. So they'll obviously have snacks and things like that, but they know they have the core foundation, which is what I want to show them and what I want to teach them. So hope this helped. If you have questions, let me know. The next video is going to be about carbohydrates, and the next video is going to be about fats. And then I think I'm going to create some more videos on like me preparing some of these meals. So if you have ideas like, hey, how do you repurpose this type of food? I'll create a video on me buying the ingredients and making it. And so you could just see, it's not that hard. It just requires a little bit of preparation. You do a little bit of preparation, you'll have meals for 3-4 days for you and the family. And promise you, same taste. You're not going to lack on flavor. And that was the biggest thing. When I started, I felt like it had to taste like shit. I followed like the Jay Cutler mentality, like food is fuel, and like it's gotta hurt. And that put me in just the wrong mindset, because again, I did it for 3 months, 4 months, and then I crashed, and then I went back to old habits. Now I make the food as tasty and probably better, and I don't feel bloated and like dejected afterwards. When you eat like so much calories and super high carb and fat, like you feel good eating it, but then you feel like crap afterwards. And I don't feel that, but I get the same euphoric high for eating tasty food, but all the good things. So try it out, guys. If you have questions, please let me know. It's been a long journey, and I genuinely want to help you because it's changed my life for the better so much. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you feel like this video can help other people, please, really would love to grow the community, and I want more people to be about that, like to say that the message of, of leading by example, being a dad, being the best mom that you can be, being the best parents for your children. We have a lot of things going on in today's society, and we need to lead by example. So if you feel like this can help other folks, send it to them. Share it, please. Subscribe. It would be amazing to earn your trust that way. And let me know more videos I can to talk about, and I'll be happy to do that. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your Friday.